So for this cabin build, I'm going to just explain a bit more about the process and what I'm doing. It'll be a series of short videos. It'll just be too much if I do it all in one go. This is part one. So this is cabin number 2, 4 meters by 3 meters. I've got it square down to 2 millimeters. I'm pretty happy with that. One thing I like to do when I'm measuring corner to corner to confirm that it's square, I use this green painter's tape and I put the edge of the tape on the corner, and obviously you do both sides, and if both sides are the same measurement then it's square. Once I got all 3 piles cemented into the ground at the rear, I realised that they didn't need to be quite so high. I can afford to drop them down 150 millimeters, as that's the thickness of the bearer that will sit on top. It's such an easy thing to do to take a new level, but right now getting everything perfectly square within that string line is the most important part. One thing you want to make sure is your cement is level with the ground surface, mounded up or on a slope so water can run off. Obviously I need to put a bit more cement in here. If water pools in there, it's going to be bad for that post and it will rot it even though it's treated. Well, I've got all 4 corner piles cemented into the ground. I did adjust the string line to see if I could tighten up that 2 millimeter gap. Let's see if it worked. Get on there. 4 meters 995. Alright, do the opposite corner. Making sure the end of the tape measures in the correct spot. 4 meters 995. That is perfect. One of these has a slight bow in it. I can fix that. There you go. Crown pointing up, so just squeeze that top one in because it's got a bit more of a bow. Yeah, screw them together. All 3 bearers finished. Quite pleased with that. I've secured this back end. This is what I'm calling the back wall. The front is loose because I'm going to adjust that to get it perfectly square. I may need to move it a few mil left or right. I'll do that soon and we'll see if it's accurate. I know my bearers are square because we've already measured those. This is accurate. What have we got? 5 meters 60. Do the opposite corner. Get on there. A moment of truth. I may need to move it, but holy shit. 5 meters 60. I don't have to move it. That is frighteningly good. So my joists are almost in. So I measure 400 center from the outside. So 400, 8, 12, and so on and so on. And I just eyeball the center of my timber to my line. I figure if you cannot accurately eyeball the center of your timber, then, I don't know, become an electrician or something. Well, that's all the joists in. Just got a blocking in between them. So I'm using flooring ply 25mm thick, which is going to run across the joists. And I just double checked and the sheets are 2.7 long. So there's 2.7 center. So I've just got to put one more joist in beside this one. But that's no big deal. Well, that's pretty much the flooring frame all done. Not really much I can do right now until I get the flooring ply. Then I've got a flat surface I can work on to make the frames. And if you'd watched my first cabin video, you would notice that this is different. Yeah, I've got 3 bearers, 2 on the very outer, 1 in the center, and that's because I'm using 4x2 for the joists, which is standard. The other one I used 150 by 50, so 6x2. So I could afford to only have 2 bearers with more overhang on the sides. This is more, I guess, of a traditional house frame, I suppose. Well, that's the end of that video. I was going to put the floor down, but it's winter now. There just isn't enough clear days. I can't risk the plywood floor getting wet. So what I'm going to do, slightly different plan, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to frame it all up first, put the cladding on, put the roof on, and then put the floor down afterwards. And that'll be in part 2.